Oh, tonight's about drive. It's about power. We stay hungry, we devour. Let's talk about some rock, you mother. Ladies and gentlemen, today is not Tuesday. It is not Thursday. Today is Wednesday. That means it must be time for the tagline. We are the Cinefanatics. My name is Robert Adams. You're still muted. My name is Sometimes I Don't Unmute My Microphone. I mean, Chris
Way
Adams.
to come with that same energy that I come with right out the gate. Mute button on, just, I'm here.
Here's the funny thing is, usually I'm unmuted naturally when the video is done playing. So, also, what I did say was that I don't swallow my microphone because you came in with the hotness, but then my microphone was muted. So, screw me.
That's how it works. That's when you choose to do stuff on YouTube, you got to expect crap. How is everybody doing tonight? I see we have Garth in the chat. I see we have Brennan in the chat. Garth saying that he's looking forward to seeing Dwayne Johnson playing Pong. Here's the thing, like Dwayne Johnson in a movie about Pong, I'm pretty sure would go over about as well as that Battleship movie. What a terrible, terrible movie.
Rampage?
Yeah. Hello there, Brennan. No, Rampage was actually pretty decent. It was not bad. It was decent. It was on the more positive end. If you were to make like what's that, the T graph or whatever, if y'all take like was it accounting or whatever, you make like these T bar graphs to show like you remove money from here, so you have to remove money from here because it has to stay even. Whatever. If you were to make one of like good video game movies and bad video game movies, I would put Rampage more on the good side. It's not the top. It's not the best. This isn't S tier of like a marquee episode, but it's
as
not
compared
F either.
As compared to like 90% of Resident Evil sequels and Super Mario Brothers and anything Uwe Boll has done.
Almost. I actually saw one like decent movie from Uwe Boll, and funny enough, it's actually called Rampage. So.
Yeah, that ain't true. I don't believe that.
Yeah, Rampage actually was watchable, and it was pretty decent. I've actually watched it more than once. So, Dwayne Johnson is Pac-Man. Fantastic.
Can you just imagine Dwayne Johnson going waka 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 waka? Actually, that sounds more like Yoshi, but whatever.
Tim Franco says Super Mario Brothers is great.
In a different way.
It is. The video game is fantastic. I absolutely love the video game. Grew up with it. Oh, you were talking about the movie. Oh. Anyways.
I'm just replaying Goombas rocking back and forth in an elevator in my head, and I'm going,
yeah. That's so stupid. Anyways, as we get this YouTube live stream show up and running tonight, y'all do know the YouTube things. You have questions, comments, issues. If there's still money in your pockets after this past weekend, streamlabs.com/cinefanatics. That would be a good place to put it, right up there. Also, patreon.com/cinefanatics. Help us out. Follow us. Support us. We're mooing. We don't have flying cow a part of this yet.
We're making moves.
We are making moves. So if you would like to help support us in all of our crazy shenanigans and my inability to speak English properly, patreon.com/cinefanatics. I promise I will get the Rosetta Stone for English.
Please.
And I will be better.
Please give to the Streamlabs and sign up for Patreon so that our young boy over here may finally learn English.
I may finally learn how to talk. That would be nice.
You need to speak that proper English over there, son.
Yeah. Speaking of Patreon, things we have coming up. This past Monday, we did the Patreon movie trivia hangout, which was a lot of fun. I thought that turned out very well. Some good questions. Our hats off to Vernon, the Quizmaster Greene, for his support and his help on those. Also, coming up this Monday, the 31st at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern, we will be doing the watch along of Groundhog Day. If you would like to join us for that, all you have to do, it's real simple, real easy. Hop on that $5 dude tier on our Patreon and then join us in our Discord. Get yourself into the voice queue on our Discord right before 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern. We will move you into the voice chat. We will all be watching Groundhog Day because even though it's the 31st and it's not quite Groundhog Day, it's the closest we can get to still nailing a movie watch along this month while watching Groundhog Day for next month. So,
and then also on Monday, we'll be watching for our Patreon watch along will be Groundhog Day. So if you want to go ahead and sign up on the $5 Patreon tier for Groundhog Day, you can jump into our Discord in the voice queue. And then also on Monday, we're going to be watching Groundhog Day. So if you want to jump onto the $5, is this joke working?
That's good. I think three times is good enough. Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Even Bill Murray got out of that after apparently spending 1,000 years in that loop, but whatever.
This Monday is Okay.
Yes, thank you. Other shows we have coming up. This coming Saturday, we will be doing an episode of The Marquee. It is going to be our wait for it.
Say it. Say it. Say it.
Patient. Our most anticipated movies of 2022. We will be tier ranking these movies. Again, spoiler alert on this one. Batman's not going to be that high, y'all. Sorry to say. Come for the hot takes and the bloodshed. That will be this Saturday. I believe that's going to be, 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern as well on Saturday? Or do we want to do like a 30-minute later after I get off work? Just in case I have some.
I think I already talked about it on my Twitch stream, and I said it was going to be the 9:30 Central Time, so it'll probably be 30-minute later.
Yeah, just in case I get a customer that just wants to annoy the heck out of me about their cable bill, like the last minute.
Side note, I love how you say that Batman's not going to be higher. Like there's not two of us discussing this.
I know. I am saying that knowing that there's two of us discussing it.
It'll be still decently high.
Yeah, it's okay. Brennan says unsubscribe.
See?
Let me see. What else do we got real quick? Let's talk about SNL cable cutting commercial. Pretty much. No, mine is that SNL skit that was like a couple of weeks ago where the guy was trying to, I guess it might be the same one you're referencing, where he was trying to cancel his cable and he kept transferring around. That is my job. What the customer called, that is my job. That is exactly what I do. It down to a T is that skit was way too realistic, including the transferring customers to Domino's, which I haven't done, but
it's too real.
Yeah.
It's too real.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Anyways, that's what we have coming up. Let's talk about stuff that has passed already. This past weekend over on Vernon's YouTube channel, A Fan's View, they did a little something over there this past weekend. A little something for 24 hours. It was the You Don't Want to Chris a Thing fundraiser. And I will call this an outstanding success. Huge thanks on that once again to Vernon, Maxwell, Amber, and Adelia, all of them coming together to be able to pull this off. We raised quite a bit of money for Chris here. So very successful, had a fantastic time. All the splatter jokes that you could ever think of all over the place, especially in the middle of the night during our gaming.
Gross.
When did that start? Did that start like
right at the beginning?
Right at the very beginning with Nikki DeMolanta? And
yeah, it wasn't her fault.
That joke just carried at least through the games.
Let's keep in mind that wasn't her fault. That was the fault of Jake Iacovetta. It was all him.
We love Jake Iacovetta.
Of course, we all took up the baton and carried the joke, but whatever. This past weekend was fantastic. I obviously would not trade any part of it for the world, clearly. But I'm just like still reeling over how much like it's. I think I said it on there. I'll say it on here too. It's, yeah, we've been doing this YouTube thing for a few years now, and we've been part of the larger Schmodown community for a decent time.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing to see just how many people were willing to come together in support of me and what I've been going through. Because it's like one of those, like, I never thought I would ever deserve to have something like this done for me. It's just, it's just the way I think. So to see it happen is still like, it's super humbling. And like, I'm just still so grateful for everybody and what they did. So we had some fun. We had a lot of fun on there, lost a lot of sleep, but you know what? It was great. It was great. It was wonderful. I loved every second.
The thing I really liked about it was also, like, I did stay up for the entire 24 hours, but then that sleep the next night, I slept for like damn near an entire 12 hours, and it was absolutely glorious. And any of y'all who follow me know how much I very much love and value my sleep. It's probably like the best thing a person can do to themselves, besides something else. But I absolutely love getting my sleep. So being able to sleep for 12 hours was just the best. Absolutely loved it. But we had
and then I slept for like 11 hours. I slept for like 11 hours and then got up the next day and did a wedding for 10 hours.
We had like a lot of guests on there. Like, so I mentioned Nikki DeMolanta was a part of that. We had Mara Kanopik was a part of that also. She was baking like some bloody cupcakes and stuff and showing off her brulee torch.
That was really cool. They looked good.
That was cool. Fun stuff, like we had the video chronic quiz with Video Drew and Nerd Chronic doing Detective Pikachu, which I obviously was the winner of. So thank you very much for everyone watching.
Okay. All right. Okay. Chill out with that. Those lies. There's game tape.
Sure. If you
check the receipts. Check the receipts.
We had like pretty much the entire Off the Rails network, PJ Campbell with Kaiser, Sean Sullivan, all of them doing some fun like box stuff as well. La La Land watch along with Kaiser was a part of that.
Paul was there too.
Oh yeah, Paul Preston was there. And anyways, so a lot of fun stuff that happened with that. And I'm trying to delay here because I actually did decide I wanted to show something else that happened from that stream. So I'm trying to upload the video real quick. So if y'all are seeing this getting blurry or choppy, that would be why.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. There we go. And then one of the other things that we had was the movie guys came on. And they decided movie guys are always a delight to have. Paul Preston and Adam Witt, just fantastic. And then they brought in something that I wanted to go ahead and still show it off here.
God.
Just in case you didn't see it, because at this point we were all dead tired and they played this video and it was hysterical. So this was what Paul and Adam brought to the table.
Are you listless? Are you irritable? Do you suffer from violent outbursts? Is your brother named Robert? Does he look like this? Do you treat him like this? If the answer is yes, then you might be Chris Adams. If you think you are Chris Adams, then don't worry, there's help. Just contribute any amount whatsoever to help Chris at streamlabs.com/fansviewfcl to help our friend in movie trivia and pop culture podcasting with his medical bills. Ask yourself if giving money to Chris Adams is right for you. It is. Otherwise, what are we doing here? We made a whole fake commercial. Well, why do you think that we did that? Do you need more than one pair of glasses? Are you easily confused? Do you suffer from an outsized sense of your own fashion?
I'm the cool one with the cool outfit, right?
Are you paranoid about weather on a sunny day? Do you suffer from an outsized sense of importance?
Why am I not the main event?
Do you suffer from
Crybaby.
delusions of persecution?
Choke artist.
Do you threaten others? If the answer is yes, you might be Chris Adams, who needs help at a difficult time financially.
Side effects of being Chris Adams may include headaches, overeating, live streaming, sarcasm,
Some of the
Really?
thoughts you're feeling.
Oh, he's not happy, really?
getting lost, sudden loss of words,
What do you want me to say here? Like,
spending too much time with Maxwell, sudden urination. Do you suffer from sudden memory lapses about terrible movies?
The answer we're looking for, Caddyshack 2. Caddyshack 2.
Or general confusion about what the hell is being talked about?
In 2019's The Last Full Measure, who plays Scott Huffman, a Pentagon staffer who interviews Vietnam veterans, played by Ed Harris, Samuel Jackson, William Hurt, and Peter Fonda.
To find out if you are Chris Adams, take out your wallet. Find your driver's license. Does it say Chris Adams? Then there's a pretty good chance you're Chris Adams. With your help, we can help Chris Adams.
I love that video.
it's funny because I do suffer from a lot of headaches.
Yeah,
I might be Chris Adams.
there's a pretty good chance. I just like the, of course, not to be like self-centered on there, but I was watching like, this is pretty good. And there's like, is your brother Robert? Does he look like this? And they used the image of me from the Cinefanatic Civil War promo where I'm in like the furry pimp coat with the crappy wig. And then like, do you treat him like this with the tackle? That's so good. Oh, much love to the movie guys, Adam and Paul. They do such a good job on stuff like that.
It's like they're funny or something. It's like they know what they're doing.
Yeah. Unlike us, who... Anyways, moving on.
Real quick. Kaiser might be your spirit animal, but I wanted to go do hunting season.
It's great.
Gosh.
Anything else you want to talk about from that stream, or?
Nothing but obviously, like, you know, my continual thanks to everybody who donated, everybody who, you know, put it together, was even those who were just there, even if they didn't donate or anything, like people who were just there in support, like all of it. Thank you to everybody. So it's gonna be a big help. It really, really will. There's gonna be some big stuff that I'm gonna be able to do because of that. Because of the help I'm about to be able to get. So thank you.
So moving on. So last week was our first week back doing the tagline from our over Christmas hiatus. We didn't cover last week if we had watched any new movies, because we did, and there was a lot, and we just didn't have the time to dive into all of them because that was almost a month worth of new movies. Yep. But now it's only been a week, so have you watched any new movies over the past week?
Nope.
Not really, no.
Took a break.
I just watched a new movie this week right before this stream. And that was the horror movie The Babysitter with Samara Weaving. I actually thought it was pretty good, even though it was directed by Mick G. And Mick G is typically...
He's not Uwe Boll, but
I will say, and I know that there's a camera on. This is something that can be referenced back. I actually did like the first original Charlie's Angels in 2000. I thought that was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. That's about it.
Didn't he do was it he who did Terminator Salvation?
Yes, he did do Terminator Salvation, which that one I wouldn't say was that bad either.
It's maybe like not the best direction the story could have gone in, but the movie itself is actually still pretty okay. I mean, it's not awful.
I would almost say that was probably the best Terminator movie after the first two.
Yeah,
like I may have liked Terminator Salvation more than Terminator 3.
Hey, save it for a marquee episode on the Terminator coming up someday.
Whenever they release another Terminator movie, which very likely will happen sometime down the road.
I hope not.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Anyways, So moving on from that, God, we're only like 20 minutes into this episode. We're all ready to get into the news. Let's talk about some news.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is what's happening in your world tonight.
We apologize for the interruption.
Back to you.
I don't know why my voice had to go high on that. Let's talk about some news. Just one of those days.
Just dived into presenter mode, and so it's a weird presenter mode. It was a choice. It was a choice. First of all, guys, you know how we do with the news. We like to talk about what went down at the box office this last weekend. First of all, it was nothing important. There was a 24-hour live stream over yours truly here, and so you probably wanted to watch that instead of going to the theater to see a movie. I get it. I understand. I thank you. That's so kind of you. But the rest of everybody else who doesn't care about me did go to see some movies at the theater.
I like to say real quick on this, though, thanks to what Saturday Night Live said, that the spread of the coronavirus, the Omicron variant, is done by Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And people going to see Spider-Man. I like to think that not only was this 24-hour stream really good for bringing this community together, and by this community, I mean the movie-loving community that also happens to follow like the movie Trivia Schmodown. Not only did we bring the community together for a really good purpose and have a good time doing it, we probably saved a whole bunch of people from getting the Omicron. So we're over here saving lives, people. I'm just saying, like, I don't mean to like pat my back or whatever, but I mean, we saved some lives this past week, and I think that's just a great thing that we did there for everyone. So, yay us!
I'm glad something that came about because of my physical condition saved a lot of people's lives. I'll get in that car accident any day if that's the case.
Oh God, no! Ugh.
No, I would not. I would rather have not gone through any of this. Anyway, let's talk about the box office, because that's something to talk about. There is something to talk about actually here. We know this last weekend, not this last weekend, but the weekend before last week, Scream took that number one spot. Can we guess what's number one this week?
Spider-Man.
It's like you already knew that. Spider-Man's back in that number one spot. Apparently, there's more staying power to a Spider-Man movie than there is to a fifth iteration of Scream. I guess. I don't know. It's not like Scream isn't in the second place.
Yeah, in the defense of that, though, like that, while the Scream movie was decent, it's one of those, like, kind of like when you know the ending, there's really, like, there might be some rewatch value going back in, knowing, like, who's Ghostface, and then going back and watching the movie again, knowing that information. But otherwise, there's not, I wouldn't say, too much rewatchability for Scream over Spider-Man. Spider-Man has like endless rewatchability.
Spoilers on Ghostface being in Scream. Come on, man. Yo.
Yeah.
People haven't seen it yet. Yeah, so Spider-Man's back in the number one spot. Grossed about 14 million this last weekend, so it's still hanging in there. Like hanging like Spider. Anyway, the number two spot is Scream. Made another 12 million itself, so it's doing pretty awesome. 51 million total gross so far in comparison to Spider-Man's 720 million. So it's hanging in there. Number three spot, staying at the number three spot from last week, is Sing 2. A little family film still hanging in there, doing good. Everything's still hanging in, by the way. Number four, we've got Redeeming Love. This is the time period where some movies come out that I'm not completely familiar with what they are. But, we'll see how long some of these last in the top 10.
And nobody's familiar with what they are.
Because it made about 3.5 million. So a few people were aware of it. Number five, staying in the number five spot from last week, is The Kingsman. That sequel prequel for the Kingsman franchise. People, I guess, saw it. Sort of. Maybe not by these numbers. Number six is The 355. Number seven is American Underdog, the Shazam story. Number eight is a new release, The King's Daughter. Made less than $1 million. This is another one I don't know. I'm not sure. Number 9 is West Side Story. And number 10,
I haven't heard of that one either.
Pizza. You haven't heard West Side Story?
I never heard of West Side Story. Just
clarify again. I know I did it last week, but just gotta clarify again. This is the new West Side Story directed by Steven Spielberg. This is not the old West Side Story coming back into theaters.
Thank you for clarifying that, because I thought it was still in the theater since 1961.
You joke, but some people might need that clarification sometimes. Just saying, we got people out here taking horse medicine for COVID. So
the King's Man and the King's Daughter double feature. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's an impressive box office. We still don't have any what's the next major movie that's coming out? Is it that Moonfall?
Moonfall, I mean, sure. The one that's mostly on our radars that we kind of want to go to the theater to see because it's going to be so much fun. It would have been Morbius. No, it's going to be so much fun. Morbius did get pushed, though. It was going to be Morbius originally, but we'll never see that movie ever. So who cares? It is going to be Moonfall, though, and I am excited. It's going to be a blast.
So to see where movies like Moonfall and Morbius are going to end up on our list of anticipated movies, make sure you join us this Saturday for the marquee most anticipated 2022 movies. That will be this Saturday at 9:30 Central, so 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern.
I don't see Moonfall or Morbius on that thumbnail. I gotta believe they're not going to be very high. Well, Moonfall.
I still got to go through a list of what movies it is that we want to rank on that, and I don't think Moonfall would be on that list just because I think that it's going to be a very long list as is. So
okay, so basically what you guys need to understand going into Saturday is that Moonfall is one of those automatic S tier movies. We just don't need to include it because we all know it's S tier. So
we all know it's S tier.
Don't worry about it. It's automatic S tier.
Yeah, it's exactly what's happening there. Anyways, how are we? So for the box office again, how's Spider-Man looking worldwide?
I already closed out the tab, but okay, I'll reopen it.
Just say a crap load of money.
It's definitely made over a billion worldwide. I think it made $1 billion worldwide last weekend, but you know. Let's see, we're gonna travel there. We got worldwide on Spider-Man No Way Home is $1,693,087,059.
Interesting.
So it's creeping closer and closer to the 2 billion mark. It might hit it by the time it's done in its theatrical run. But it's not gonna get anywhere near like the end games and the avatars.
Before we move on to other news topics to talk about, a couple of things I want to point out. First of all, does anyone else besides me think that because of Chris's new lighting over there and given the color of his shirt and his sweater that he's wearing, that he kind of just looks like a disembodied head floating around? Like your shirt looks like it's blended into the background because it's the same shade of purple as the lighting in your room.
Literally just him.
I just thought that was funny looking for a minute. Also, we did get a Streamlabs in from Garth McMurray donating $1, saying, "This $1 is for Robert only. I've given enough to Chris this week. Looking forward to seeing The Rock as a grown-up Ash still catching some Pokemon." Thank you, Garth. I got $1. I got $1. I got $1. Hey, 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 hey.
Well, first of all, we know that $1's for you because I don't support Ash being in a live-action Pokemon movie. I want my main Pokemon character to be named Red from the games, not the anime. So you can keep that stinking $1.
Says Robert wearing black against his black table and black bed. Yeah, I mean,
that's actually a good point. Okay, I'll take the $1.
In the meantime, Ash is pretty much the only human character I'm aware of in Pokemon besides Misty or Misty? Misty and Brock,
who are actual characters from the video game, so they can actually still exist, and it's perfectly fine.
Okay, interesting. Well, Ash is the only characters I know, so Therefore, that's why I won the Detective Pikachu Video Chronic quiz over this past weekend, because I am so knowledgeable about Pokemon.
What was the name of the Pokemon in the bar in Detective Pikachu that Pikachu ordered the coffee from?
Was that like green duck thing that wears a sombrero?
Mm-hmm.
That one I don't know,
said
but
its name.
luckily, they didn't ask that during the Video Chronic quiz, so I was good.
Ludicolo. It said
That's
its
right. I
name.
do actually remember hearing that before. But at least I knew which one you were talking about, and I was able to accurately describe it, so yay me.
Do you remember Mr. Mime's name?
Mr. Mime.
Good job.
Anyways, moving on to news. This one I thought was kind of interesting. It was reported that a couple of fans, like 2 fans, had rented the movie yesterday. If y'all are not familiar, this is the movie from Danny Boyle about a musician who gets into an accident, and when he comes to, the whole world has forgotten about the Beatles. They have never heard of the Beatles. No one knows the songs or anything. He's the only one who knows Beatles songs, so he ends up writing the Beatles songs and then performing them and selling them as if they were his own songs, because nobody knows any better. And it's a great movie. I love Yesterday. Such a good movie. But apparently these 2 people, these 2 clowns, I would say, rented it based off of the idea from one of the early trailers to this movie, had Ana de Armas in it. Unfortunately, the scenes from the movie with Ana de Armas were cut before the movie was released. So these 2 jerkholes, whatever, decided to sue because Ana de Armas was not in the movie, and so therefore they were misled by the trailer. They are currently trying to sue for $50 million just to make sure nothing like this ever happens again, and that all of us who really wish to have seen Ana de Armas will get our due payment.
Usually people who report news try to stay away from being as opinionated as possible. Like, they typically wouldn't call a couple guys like this jerkholes.
Yeah, and here's the thing, and that's true. That is correct.
But they're jerkholes. Just to be clear, they're jerkholes.
And especially like on this channel, I've done, I feel like, pretty well of like not really being judgy. I might make like some side
making
jokes,
a serious comment there. They're jerkholes.
Yes. I typically don't judge people like that publicly, but yeah, these 2 have to be the dumbest, stupidest, probably 2 people that will never, ever, ever know the touch of a woman. Like, they are going to be living in their mother's basement for the rest of their lives. I'm sorry I'm getting on a soapbox about this, but this is one of the things that like really like irks me in life, is how stupid people are, and I cannot believe how dumb this situation is, that they're suing just because of this. So yeah, screw those guys. What a bunch of idiots. And wait, hold on. Okay, I'm being told by our fake producer off camera that we actually did get a photo of these 2 people. So let's go ahead and out these 2 assholes for as they are. Let's take a look at it. Who are these 2?
Ugh. Actually, a couple handsome fellas.
Well, that was unfortunate. Anyways, Yesterday was a great movie, and we highly recommend that you watch it. Whew. Moving on.
Did we win the lawsuit?
Anyways, moving on. So in all seriousness, this next news story, I actually thought this was pretty funny. If have y'all seen this stuff going on with Fight Club in China? Not a Fight Club in China, but the movie Fight Club in China.
Stop with the news story. We can't talk about this.
Why? Oh, okay. Yeah, never mind. Anyways, well, whatever.
No,
Too late.
quit.
Cat's out the
Quit.
bag. Lola's out the bag. I'm going to talk about it
Quit.
anyways.
I'm done. Walking off set.
That was a stupid joke.
I'm not coming back.
That was a joke that would only be told by two guys who will never know the touch of a woman. Anyways,
Flounder by yourself.
yes, thank you. Anyways, so
Okay.
apparently, when I guess Fight Club is released in China, the Chinese government has fixed the ending to it. Some slight spoilers if you're not familiar with the ending of Fight Club, but the whole idea is this Project Mayhem is destroying like the credit card companies. If they erase the debt, then everyone starts at zero type of thing. So, and this is successful. In the movie, they do blow up the buildings, and the narrator, Tyler, whatever, and what's her face?
Just the narrator.
No, what's her name?
Marla. The narrator. Marla. Yep.
They're watching the buildings collapse, and apparently they get away scot-free and successful. The bad guys win. Apparently they don't like this idea over in China. So this was fixed, and this is the actual, like, as the movie's ending, it cuts off and it goes to a card like this saying, through the clue provided by Tyler, the police rapidly figured out the whole plan and arrested all criminals, successfully preventing the bomb from exploding. After the trial, Tyler was sent to a lunatic asylum, receiving psychological treatment. He was just discharged from the hospital in 2012. This is what appears when you watch the movie in China. Like, they just completely erased the fact that the bad guys, whatever, end up winning at the end, and they just that's so ridiculous.
What? What?
So
none of that makes any sense at all, because like we know the storyline and everything. Like the movie had to go the way it goes, otherwise what's the point of watching the movie? What's the storyline mean if it all just comes down to like, oh, we just all got caught at the end, then it's like the man won, the power. Oh wait, no, that makes sense for China. Never mind. Yep.
So I thought this was absolutely ridiculous that this is what happens. They put an imaginary guy in a psychiatric hospital. Yeah, pretty much.
No, they put a totally real guy in the psychiatric hospital.
Did they? Did the hospital exist? So I was kind of curious. This can't be the only movie that the Chinese government has done this to. So I looked into it to see, had this happened to any other movies before, and I'm actually really surprised. There were a couple other like really big, huge movies that they did this to that we didn't know about. So while you think we're just reporting or talking about the same news that everyone else has already talked about, I've actually got a scoop here for us. I haven't seen anyone else talk about this. So let's look at these other movies. First thing is they also changed the ending to Star Wars Episode 5, Empire Strikes Back. It's
How
really
dare.
interesting. Yeah. So,
How dare.
So the movie's playing during like the fight between Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader over on Bespin. And then the screen cuts off. Probably it sounds like right before an arm gets cut off, and it cuts to this card here where it says, after a successful lightsaber fight, Luke Skywalker with both hands took the whole rebel fleet out to Denny's for a grand slam breakfast. Han decided to have moons over my hammy. Luke then took the princess home and made sweet, sweet love to her, and they all lived happily ever after with no birth defects whatsoever. Well, I mean, that's one way you could have ended that movie, I guess.
Return of the Jedi is going to be real weird for them.
Yeah, Brennan, are we living in the Matrix? Brennan, what did you think of that alternate ending there to Empire Strikes Back? Is it more of a positive, uplifting? I'm asking Brennan because he is the current First Class League Star Wars champion over there. So, So yeah, that one was interesting. But here's the other thing too: is I looked into it even more. I found another movie. Another movie they did this to. They did this to the sad and abysmal ending of Avengers: Infinity War. Again, Thanos shows up in Wakanda. They're fighting, and right before his hand's able to make that final snap, it says Thanos was stopped before he could snap his fingers. Captain, for some reason, they censored the word America over there. I don't know why, but Captain censored. Then grounded Thanos to his room on the ravaged moon of Titan, where he learned to grow potatoes using his poop and moisture he collected in the atmosphere. He finally makes it off Titan and reunites with his first love, Jessica Chastain. She was last seen either running from a dinosaur in high heels or directing today's episode of Book of Boba Fett.
Oh,
very interesting.
So just to be clear, they gave that statement at the end of Infinity War during its first run, right?
Yes. It's really weird. Like the technology the Chinese government has access to be able to see like what's going on in the future. It's weird, but yeah. So what do you think of like the story of this, that like the government has control to change the endings of these movies that are, I would say, are very well beloved to us, movies we grew up that we can't imagine ending any other way?
You know, it comes down to like, how are we messing with art? Because at the end of the day, you know, we're talking about censorship for films, and obviously, you know, this is not America. We're talking about China. It's a completely different country. We have really no say over what that country does in terms of how they show movies off and stuff. But I think it just brings up the general idea of what is censorship and how does it affect the art of the movie, what we're supposed to take away from the movie. I don't know. I just I'm not too obviously I'm not too huge on this idea of what they did here with Fight Club, but you know, I just no. Actually, I'm not. It sounds like I'm about to defend them in some way. I'm not defending them at all. This is awful, and you don't change art. Stop it.
Well, that being said, those were the ones that I managed to find. I'm kind of curious if there's any other movies that they may have changed the ending to. So I might look into that for funsies over the course of this next week. And I don't know, maybe I might have some more that we can look at next week. I don't know. Garth
found one. The Titanic actually dodged the iceberg and made it safely to the USA. I actually kind of like that one. That's actually a good ending. It's a good change. Everybody survived.
Yeah. And then it was also reported that in case of emergencies, if the Titanic or any other cruise liner ship like that is ever to set sail with an insufficient amount of boats to carry all of the passengers, then there should be a requirement that while the doors are big enough to float 2 people, they should be made bigger so it is without a doubt big enough to hold 2 people.
We also got to make sure the doors are buoyant enough to hold 2 people as well. And it's not
yeah.
It's
definitely
not just the width of the door. It's, you know, the door's got to actually be able to float still, and you know, it's very important science.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's what's going on in China. Let's take a look back at what's going on here. Let's talk about our main topic tonight.
It's about drive. It's about power. Stay hungry. We devour.
So it was reported, or I guess like in an interview, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is wanting to do more video game movies. He wants to do more roles in this. And I mean, that's essentially like the thumbnail here. I don't know why Kratos is in this. Have we heard something about a God of War movie that he could have played Kratos in? Or?
I think people are just like, they're just fan casting, like, oh, what character could he portray? Just like me saying like he could do Master Chief if Master Chief actually took his helmet off, because there's no shot that The Rock would not. He would keep a helmet on the entire time.
I don't think The Rock is pale enough to play Kratos. You got to have like this kind of like dead look in your skin. They need to find a dead person to play that role so the skin tone is correct, and you should not
Yeah, we got-
hire someone of a good skin tone.
We got to make sure that we're giving the right jobs to the right people here. Got to only hire dead, pale people for Kratos.
Joking aside, now here's the way Hollywood actually works, and this would be hysterical. I'm bringing this back up. Those of y'all who are not familiar, because I wasn't until a couple of days ago, this character on the left is the Foundation from Fortnite. This character is voiced and looks like Dwayne Johnson. Knowing how Hollywood works, if they were to ever make a Fortnite movie, I guarantee this character would not be played by Dwayne Johnson.
Nope, Steve Carell.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Steve Carell is like out there, but I mean, I could see them doing like Paul Rudd. They'll probably put Paul Rudd in a role like that. So,
actually, so side note, here's a fun fact for you. There's another member of Dwayne Johnson's little group there who are in Fortnite who is actually a more comedic slapstick character voiced in the video game by Joel McHale. And so that's your character that Paul Rudd could portray because Joel McHale doesn't do movies, right?
yeah.
Where's the Community movie?
Garth is getting after me. It's called Makeup Robert. Yeah. So was the stuff that was put on Mickey Rooney's skin before he did Breakfast at Tiffany's. Or C. Thomas Howell before he did Soul Man. There's a deep cut reference.
Was that makeup on Ryan Reynolds for Green Lantern?
No.
Oh.
And
sorry.
I already I brought up one of her comments, but we do have Tori in the chat. She said, "Can y'all believe they replaced me with Dwayne Johnson?" If y'all hadn't seen the Twitter, I said that Dwayne Johnson was going to be a part of the stream, and if he's not, please don't sue us. Well, he's not a part of the stream, so please don't sue us like these two idiots. We heard Dwayne Johnson was going to be here. I don't see him anywhere. See in the back? No? Okay. Well, I'm going to go watch Binging with Babish then.
Anyway, so what are we talking about here with the Rock and video game movies? He wants to do a video game movie?
He wants to do more. What if he entered the chat right now? I would lose my shit. Like that, I would just done. Gone.
I would be more of a loss for words than I usually.
Yeah. That's what would happen if he popped up right now. Before we start, I kind of wanted to play around with this and just guess who you think you could potentially play. But before that, I did also see in lines with this topic, Ed Boon, one of the creators of Mortal Kombat, was saying that he would play a fantastic Shao Kahn. So I actually kind of like that idea, especially given how terrible we saw Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat Annihilation back in the 90s. Oof. Just terrible. Just god-awful. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, real quick, kind of a side note, it was announced today that they're going to do another Mortal Kombat movie, Mortal Kombat 2, based off of the Mortal Kombat movie that came out last year. God, I hope it's so much better. We have the prime opportunity for them to finally get this right. Hopefully this movie, first of all, is going to have the Mortal Kombat tournament in it. But I'm hoping they do it where it makes sense. The script is good. The story is good. Everything feels right in it. Because that will be pretty funny given what we saw back in the 90s, where we had a good first Mortal Kombat movie. I mean, it was pretty decent. It's watchable. A lot of people will still claim it as one of the best video game movies ever made. And then you got Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which, oh my God. Calling it garbage fire would be an insult to all disposal,
all warm trash,
set ablaze, all trash that has been set on fire. Yeah,
nice.
I hated Mortal Kombat Annihilation. Just terrible. And Tim Franco in the chat saying, sure, but Brian Thompson still rules. Here's the thing, though. Go back and if you look at Brian Thompson, especially during the 90s, that man, given his face, his lips, everything, perfect Apocalypse. If they had done a live-action X-Men movie back in the 90s and they needed someone to play Apocalypse, it should have been Brian Thompson. he looked exactly like Apocalypse. Anyways, that being said, who else, like from video games, do we think The Rock could play, that Dwayne Johnson could play?
I mean, I'm re-looking it up here. There's a world out there where there's still a couple roles that could be filled in for the Super Mario movie that's coming out at the end of this year. Yes, the one with Chris Pratt starring as Mario. There's a couple roles that could still be filled there, like that of Bowser Jr. or Yoshi. I'm sorry, I just really want to hear The Rock go.
So silliness aside, Tori, he can
Please.
play Kirby.
Please. Oh my God, I would. First, the movie starts out with him playing he's Kirby and just eating a stack of pancakes, just the biggest stack of pancakes.
It's his cheat day. It's Kirby's cheat day right there. I could see him possibly doing like a Bowser. The only problem with Bowser, though, is to accurately portray Bowser, he's still going to have to be kind of a CGI character. I'm trying to think of like what video game characters would he be good at if he wasn't going to be CGI'd? If the character didn't need to be CGI'd.
So,
like, given the size and the bulk and the experience, I think he would be fantastic as Samus Aran from Metroid, because he could fill out that costume very well, and he would look like a warrior in outer space in that.
I have something to tell you later about that character. Probably do it off stream. I don't want to embarrass you in front of everybody, but just
okay.
Rock's probably not a good choice for Samus.
Well, I mean, I don't understand why not. I mean, that's definitely like this like beefy masculine warrior space guy. Like, there's like,
okay, let's just say that she would not be portrayed right. Moving on.
The what?
Moving on. Just move on.
Oh, okay. Anyways, moving on then. So yeah, I know that this one. I have seen this. I don't know the character's name, but there is a bigger character in Borderlands in Borderlands that
borderline reading ability there.
Yeah, that I believe Dwayne Johnson could play, and that character would actually look pretty good.
Okay, guys, it was a joke.
Metroid came out when I was a kid, and it was like one of the first few games I had on Nintendo. I know this.
Psst, guys, it's a thing called a bit. We did a bit there. It was a bit we were doing. We did a bit. It's a bit. Can you play a rock one? Golem. You can play Golem.
Machamp or Machamp.
Machamp is a fighting type, but also he could probably play Machamp. Just give him multiple sets of arms. We're talking about live action still, right? That's a little weird.
Mm-hmm. I mean, well, with the exception that we saw, was that a Machamp that was in Detective Pikachu that's guiding traffic?
Yes.
Yeah, so with the exception that we already saw one of those like CGI'd and looks really good.
I won that quiz.
Sure you did. I know it was a stream for you, so I'm not going to bruise your ego, but yeah, sure. Who else in video games? Could we potentially see like a Castlevania and he's playing like Simon Belmont?
That I could see. Now, here's the thing. They would have to do something funky with Simon Belmont because dude has long blonde hair. And as much as I would love to see The Rock rocking long blonde hair,
and he has to do that slow motion.
I don't see that being a thing.
What was... Oh, God, don't do that. Oh my God, I feel like my brother. Was it Frozen? I think it was Frozen where you had the character that had the long blonde hair that did that. Was it Frozen or was it a Shrek movie?
You're thinking Shrek.
Was it Prince Charming and Shrek? He took off his helmet and like waved his head back and forth. Have The Rock do that as Simon Belmont. That would have been hilarious.
This I could see. I still don't think he'd be like my number one pick for Captain Falcon, but I could see it if they just wanted to go with like a movie star name real quick.
Who else? Who else would be good?
I mean, again, I'm still sitting on the, if he were down for having his face covered for pretty much the entire span of the movie, that he would be fun as Master Chief.
Mhm.
But I don't think Dwayne Johnson doesn't strike me as the type of person who's going to be willing to wear a helmet for the entire span of a movie. So I don't know if that one's an extreme possibility. Is there like a Gears of War character that he could portray? Maybe that might be like up his alley. It's kind of similar to Doom in tone. So,
you know who else would be good if they ever do a live action Duke Nukem? I mean, we're back to him having blonde hair, but give him, yeah. I mean, yeah, if they ever did a live action Doom movie, he would be fantastic in that. I mean, him, I would actually probably also get, what's his name? What's his name? Is it Carl Urban?
yeah.
Both of them would probably be fantastic in a Doom movie. I would
once
love
again,
to see
I have
that.
something I need to tell you off stream later. We'll just say it for later, but Samus is a woman. So yeah, Doom would be fun. Yeah, so like what Tim was saying here, he brought up like he could be Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War. Like I could see that.
Okay. So the joke about Doom aside, the one thing I always bring up when talking about the Doom movie is like the whole movie's crap. We know it's crap. There's a part of that movie though. It was Carl Urban's character. I can't remember exactly if he takes like some kind of like drug that gives him like the go get him, like if he's on like some kind of super adrenaline or something. But the movie shifts from it being filmed like a movie to that first person point of view with like the gun at the bottom and everything. That is easily like the best part of that movie. They did that whole section of that so well. Like I love that part of just the movie. But if the whole movie was that would have been good. Probably also would have gotten old real quick. Didn't they do that with what's that movie? Is it Hardcore Henry?
Kind of. I think that whole movie was first person.
The whole movie was shot from a first person point of view like that, and that movie was fantastic. Just the action, the movement, the way that was filmed, so well done. It's called Go Get 'Em Juice. Wait, really? Is it? Because I would believe that if that was true.
Yeah, Tim was also saying that he could easily play a character from in a Fallout movie. True. I mean, there's any number of characters out there.
You're gonna have to tell me about like more modern ones because most of your more modern video games I'm not that familiar with. Like I stopped with like Nintendo and Sega Genesis for the most part back in the day.
Right, and like obviously there's like a few of these that I haven't played either because I've been mostly a Nintendo guy for a while, and a lot of these don't come out on Nintendo systems. They come out on like Xbox or something.
I'd like to see him if they were to do, I don't know which character, but I could see him as like some like final boss type of character in like a Grand Theft Auto video game type movie. Now, I know, granted, like, say, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, we've already got that as a movie. It's called Scarface back in the 80s with Al Pacino. That's pretty much that's what Vice City was Scarface.
Just pull him straight out of his show Ballers. Make him the final boss in a GTA movie.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. That one I could see. That would be a fun role for him.
Yeah, he could pretty much do any military game. That's what I was saying. Like, he's good at playing like the nondescript government agent type, who's either part of some secret organization or some military-esque organization, whatever. Like, that is the alley of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So
that has to go fight in the jungle for some weird reason or another.
Yeah, he's fighting in the jungle. Kevin Hart's in it, some late 90s goofy white guy. Yeah.
I can't think of any more, but
so we have to wonder, like, he's hinting at wanting to play a video game character again. Is he talking like, do we have any hints that he could be talking about a more classic video game character, or that they're wanting to make a video game movie out of a more recent title. Because if we don't have any like hints either way, then obviously like we're all over the place in speculation. You know, him as Pac-Man could very well be a thing. I hope not, but I do still want him as Kirby though. I'll take him as Kirby all day.
Oh, so Jeremy Miller's saying I could see him in Mortal Kombat as a military guy or bigger, and that's what I was saying. Like Ed Boon was saying that he could see him as Shao Kahn. I could have actually potentially have seen him doing a take on Goro had they attached like more arms to him. But yeah, him as Goro probably would have been cool looking. Just don't make it like the Scorpion King. Or if you do make it like the Scorpion King, at least get the guys over at the Corridor crew or whatever to do the CGI effects and not whoever did it to begin with. Because I don't know if you saw, they went back and they redid the CGI on the Scorpion King. It looks much better.
I don't know if this is a joke or not, but yes. It's not going to be live action. It would definitely be...
No, I mean, make the body live action.
Make the body live action, but give it the classic Earthworm Jim head.
Yeah, so it's Dwayne Johnson wearing the costume and everything, but like around his neck up, he's wearing like green. He's got like a green sock on his head or whatever. So you can green screen his head out. He's still doing the voice of Earthworm Jim. You still have eye reference because if he's interacting with anyone else, they still have like a point of reference for where to look at him.
His head would be in motion capture. His head would be motion capture style.
And then yeah, you would motion capture CGI the worm actually in the bodysuit. That would actually be pretty good. And then that actually opens up another idea. Battletoads. What if you could do Battletoads like with him? Get like any popular wrestler right now. So you would get him, Batista. Who's another like big wrestler? Who's
John Cena?
John Cena. Yeah, there you go. Get those three together and do the Battletoads with the three of them.
Batista's not going to do that, but
that would be awesome. And if they were to make that movie, it would also probably be the hardest movie to sit through and watch. Very rarely would you be able to make it all the way to the end of that movie.
Would we even see
know the game, know that joke?
It's true. Would we even see John Cena's Toad character?
Probably not. We wouldn't see his at all.
It's a good joke, right? It's a good joke.
It was.
Can't see him because you can't see him. It's funny. Because really stretching out this topic as much as possible.
We appreciate y'all being here as we're running on fumes for this conversation. There really isn't much movie news going on right now, just because we're at the end of January and there's nothing. Oh, good Lord. That's okay, Mr. Johnson. We understand. Completely understand. So good work though. We are big fans of your work. And we're also big fans of your inability to speak English properly also, just like me. Or another way of saying also would be two with two O's. So yeah.
Man, it's crazy, Dwayne Johnson, that you have absolutely no content on your channel whatsoever. And that you literally joined just today in order to chat in our chat. Wow, that's so crazy, man. Appreciate it.
Anyways, we do absolutely love the fact that Mr. Dwayne Johnson did take time out of his eating chicken and pumping iron to come bless us with his presence in the chat. So thank you, Mr. Johnson, for being here. Good luck on whatever video game movie that you choose to be in. We know that no matter what it is, you're definitely going to elevate it, much like you did Doom and Rampage.
And if you're not doing the voice of Wolf in Star Fox and a Star Fox movie, I'll be out. I'm out.
Yes, I hate the wind tunnel level. God. Talk about how you're not excited for Batman. I'm not excited for Batman. We will talk about why I'm not excited for Batman this Saturday on the marquee most anticipated 2022 movies. Do you ever feel like this episode of the Tagline tonight is just like one long commercial for our other content that we're going to do coming up pretty soon?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's great to be able to have that platform to be able to advertise certain things like a Twitch channel, for instance, twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP, where I will be streaming tomorrow, doing a not a final stream of Pokemon Snap, but a good send-off for Pokemon Snap for a little bit before we get into Pokemon Legends Arceus, which comes out Friday. And I will be playing it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on stream. Saturday before we do the marquee. We're still doing the marquee. Over at twitch.tv/ChrisAdamsMLP. Feel free to come over there, follow. We're going to be doing all sorts of fun things on Twitch, and I need everybody to follow and sub over there and hang out and do all the fun things because we're going to be I got some ideas and some plans for what I want to do with the Twitch channel. So yes. What were you saying about advertisements on this episode being a giant advertisement for what we're doing?
Yeah. I'm looking at what Tori was saying here. Tori's saying, please be a gooey duck. She said,
Geoduck.
she said this first, that she meant Geodude. And then she says, don't Google gooey duck. Yeah, you don't want to.
I know what a gooey duck is.
Yeah, it does not look appetizing. Those of y'all that might be familiar with like bizarre foods or anything like that,
Good Mythical Morning.
Gooey duck is delicious sushi.
Pretty sure they've done it on Good Mythical Morning too.
Yeah, it's just a clam that looks like a penis. I mean,
it's just
yeah.
My yes and is broken tonight. What are we doing?
We are ending this episode for tonight. Look at that, y'all. We have managed to get it under an hour and 30 minutes.
We finally made it to an hour, guys, for an episode of the Tagline. And all it took was there to be like no
news at all whatsoever. Nothing
man.
Really to talk about. Just I know there was like some kind of controversy about like the casting of the Snow White movie. I read multiple articles about it, and I can't figure out. It's Peter Dinklage is talking about like how he's afraid that they're going to revert to like stereotypes of like the dwarves in the movie. I don't quite get what he's saying. I've read multiple articles and I can't quite figure it out, but I was like, I don't know. Maybe I might seek some clarification, and if it's still a topic, we may talk about it next week. But yeah, this is what you get when it's like the end of January and there's no movie news. So hopefully something will pick up over the next week. Of course, make sure you stay tuned to this channel, like, comment, subscribe as we do movie reviews when we go see another movie eventually, and trailer reactions as trailers come out. So
seems like we definitely chose to come back from our hiatus at the exact right time.
When nobody else is doing anything either. We might plan this better next year.
I mean, honestly, we could highlight how good of an episode this last episode of Book of Boba Fett was, since I'm not talking about Boba Fett anywhere else, but it was good because it was basically an episode of The Mandalorian.
Yeah, that Book of Boba Fett episode was the best episode of The Mandalorian I have ever seen. We'll do a joke real quick behind the scenes. It's not a joke, but just what happened, what ended up being funny. Right before the episode went live last night, the two of us were talking about it, and we're like, yeah, this is gonna be pretty good. Like, I'm expecting this episode's gonna have the Mandalorian in it. And Chris, you were like, well, he might not be like in this episode, or we're saying
I was
like,
expecting him not to show up till the end of the season.
Yeah, he may show up at the end or whatever. And so I came back to my room, and I'm sitting down like eating dinner, and I start watching it. Within like a few minutes, I'm back over in his room as he's starting. And of course, right there at the beginning, I was like, yep, he might be in this episode tonight.
In fact, it might be Boba Fett who doesn't show up in the episode at all. Crazy.
Yeah, that was funny. Anyways, that was a really good episode. So
tell you what, Dwayne, why don't you put out another trailer for that, and we'll let you know where it lands.
Mm-hmm. We will take a trailer and a Streamlabs maybe, and we will make sure that stays in the S tier. Not that we can be bought off. I mean, we really can't be bought off. There's only five people watching us right now, so I mean, there's no reason to buy us off. It's not going to sway public opinion at all.
We can for sure be bought off.
Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight, y'all. That's going to be the end of this episode of the Tagline, as much fun as it is. Make sure you follow us on Twitter and Instagram at CineFanaticsMLP. You can follow me at Robert Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. You can follow Chris at Chris Adams MLP, Twitter, Instagram, and Letterboxd. And also, of course, twitch.tv/Chris Adams MLP.
Yep, that's where you can follow me.
Mm-hmm. Or find him over there or whatnot. Patreon. Hop on Patreon at the $5 tier. This coming Monday, we will be doing the watch-along of Groundhog Day. So hop on that $5 tier, the dude tier, and join us. That will be Monday night at 7 Pacific, 10 Eastern in our Discord. We will be watching Groundhog Day over and over and over again.
Yep.
And then, of course, this coming Saturday, make sure you join us for the marquee, most anticipated 2022 movies. This will be a lot of fun.
We've only put this thumbnail up for like 8 times.
20 times. By the way, I can never replace you, Tori. I'm just a guest.
No, Dwayne, you totally could replace her. Anytime you want to join us and be the third member of the Cinefanatics, you absolutely can replace her.
Tori, you can come back whenever you like also. Just saying.
Yeah. Just know that Dwayne's going to be here.
Anyways, so that's going to do it for tonight. Thank you all for watching. Those of y'all who are watching live, thank y'all for being here. Mr. Dwayne Johnson, thank you for dropping by and giving us your thoughts and feelings and opinions. I can't wait to watch this episode back to find out who you really are. But you're Mr. Dwayne Johnson, and I understand that. Make sure y'all follow. Hit that like button down below. And anything else before we need to end? Those of y'all watching right now, in about an hour or so, you can find me over on a Fans View channel. We will be doing a Fans View of Waiting, the Ryan Reynolds movie where he works in a Chili's type of restaurant. Like, I think it's actually called Shenanigans or whatever. I forgot what it's called. We'll find out here in about an hour when you join us over there on a Fans View for that.
Is that place with all the goofy shit on the walls, right?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, that's going to do it for tonight. Thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a great evening. Later.
See ya.